Hello, everyone. Hey, YouTube. How's everybody doing? My name is Erica J. Holston. Welcome to the Honey Love Dating Academy channel. Today, we are going to talk about the truth when it comes to being a wife. So, a couple weeks ago, I had a Honey Love Wives boot camp, and y'all, we had such a wonderful time. We had talked about the qualities of what it means to being a wife. So, whether if you are a current wife or an inspiring wife, this video is for you. And I suggest that you hang around throughout the whole video in order for you to understand wifehood a little bit better. So you can be a seasoned wife, you could be a newlywed, or again, you can be an aspiring wife. And I just want to help you, give you some understanding. If you did not know, yesterday was my 12-year anniversary, y'all. Like, it's such an exciting season for us. And listen, like God has just brought us so far, and I am just so grateful what He is doing in our marriage. And I have learned so much about myself. And one of the things that some people say when it comes to marriage is marriage will teach you about yourself. It will teach you about God. It will teach you about marriage and so much more. And when my husband and I had actually self reflected on year 11, we just felt like God had just brought us closer together. We had faced some challenges when it came to my husband transitioning from one job role to another job role. And during that season, it just really brought us together. And so, no matter what you go through in your marriage, whether if it's a problem or a challenge, I definitely would like to encourage you to allow that challenge to actually bring the two of you together instead of separating you. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into today's video, right? Because when it comes to marriage, I just want to, give you some reminders, but then also, too, if there's anything that you feel like would help you, definitely, take notes if you need to. So let's go ahead and get started. So, one of the roles of being a wife is to love yourself and to love God. And so, being a wife, some people, make it up as more glitz and glam and it being relationship goals, and it is good, and it's so much beauty within marriage. But I just like to encourage people to go in it with some realistic expectations. And, when it comes to love, some women may feel like, okay, well, my boyfriend or my future husband or, my husband, he loves me and I love him. And so, even though that you love your husband or he loves you, one of the challenges is that some women want their husbands to compensate for the love that they should be loving themselves. And so self-love cannot be replaced by your husband. And so this is the reason why when it comes to a wife role, I encourage you to love yourself and to love God, and for you to see if there are any opportunities for you to love yourself. So, for you to be able to affirm yourself, for you to do the things that you like, for you to know, like, what is your life purpose, even though it fits into you being a wife and you having a fulfilling marriage. But the way that you love yourself is so important, and your husband can't fulfill that for you. Like, you actually have to be able to love yourself. And so when it comes to God, God is love, right? And I just think that God will show you, how to love Him and how to love yourself, then how to be able to love your husband. And so, being a wife, like you have to know how to love yourself and, be the best woman that you can be, as well as your husband being able to love you and for him to be the best husband that he can be as well. So my next quality is for you to respect your husband. And so, respect can look differently from husband to husband. And I'm not exactly sure, like, how your husband views respect. I know in the Honey Love Dating Academy, when it comes to aspiring wives, I encourage them to ask men when they go out on dates with them to ask him, like, how do you view respect? Like, what is respect to you? Like, can you give me some examples of what respect is, right? And so in my coaching programs, I actually ask women to look at the definition of what respect is, right? So I'm going to read the definition to you. So, respect is a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something by their abilities, right? And so, when you respect your husband, it is a deep admiration. And I just think that that is something that actually can grow over time. And, when you ask your husband, so what is respect to you? Do you feel like I respect you? How do I respect you? Can you give me an example of the ways that I respect you? And a lot of times when it comes to husbands, they want to be heard, they want to be seen, and they want to be felt, and they want to know that you have a deep admiration for them. And so, having that conversation, you'll be surprised how fulfilling that conversation can be. So, whether if you are a current wife or you are an aspiring wife and you are dating, men's love language is respect. Like I have, coached married couples, and, 9 times out of 10, men will say, I need to know that she respects me. And so if I were to ask them, if you were able to prioritize respect or love, men 9 times out of 10 always say respect, because he wants to know that you respect him. He wants to know that you have a deep admiration for him. And to have this conversation, you may say, "Oh, Coach Honey Love, I don't see the big deal." Let me tell you, like, it is a really, really big deal. And so, I remember being a newlywed. Like I said, yesterday was our 12-year anniversary, but I remember being a newlywed for, I would say, between year one and year three. My husband felt like I didn't listen to him. And so I had to look within myself and to ask myself, like, how can I actually respect him more? And for him, it was listening to him, it was understanding him, and, just showing him with my actions. And I really worked on that. Was it difficult for me? Yes. Were there some things that I had needed to pray about? Yes. But it's all worth it, right? And so, the way that your husband feels respected, like, it's important. So, one of the ways that I show my husband respect is when he comes home, I greet him. So, whatever it is that I'm doing, it's just like, this can wait. I am going to go downstairs or put my phone down, and I'm going to greet my husband. And so that shows respect, that shows deep admiration. And I just hope that this is ministering to you. And I just hope that, you are able to take some tips away from this when it comes to the qualities of a wife and the truth about being a wife. And, it can be difficult, especially if, your husband maybe, have some insecurities, because we all do have insecurities as human beings. And so if he doesn't feel like he's seen, or if he's heard and different things like that, like, it is going to be even more important for your husband to feel respected, to be deeply admired by you. And sometimes it's not even like what you say, it's how you say it. Sometimes it's also your body language, as far as like the way that you look at him. And so, if you were to really take a deep dive into this and to really look at, like, okay, so, how do I respect my husband, or how would I respect my husband? And so, watch your body language and the way that you respond to him, instead of like cutting your eyes, or, giving him a certain look, as far as like, just the way that you look at him. Like, that is like super, super important. And so that is a level of respect. And, when it comes to respect, like, we could talk about this forever, but I just wanted to, just to share with you, like, how important respect is, right? And for your husband or your future husband to be deeply admired by you. And so if you say, well, Erica, I don't know exactly how to do this, pray about it. Like, if you were to pray about it and you were to ask God to show you how to respect your future husband, if you were to ask God, how can I show my husband and I have a deep admiration for him, like, God is definitely going to show you. And if there was any times where your husband felt disrespected, or if a man that you were dating, he felt disrespected, and you guys are still going out, like, I just think that it is a good opportunity to ask, like, well, how do you feel disrespected? Because, sometimes when you ask a man, like, well, how did I disrespect you, he may not actually come right out and say it. Like, pray about that too. But if he tells you, like, really listen to it. And it may not mean much to you, but it can mean the world to him. And so, when it comes to respecting a man, like, you may have your view of how you receive respect, and he may have his view of how he receives respect. So you can't respect him the way that you would expect to be respected. You can respect him the way that he receives respect, even if it doesn't make any sense to you. That's not the point. The point is being able to respect your husband by the way he receives respect. And so then he will be able to receive respect, and it will mean a lot more to him. When it means a lot more to him, maybe he'll be more affectionate. Maybe he'll be able to do the things that you have always wanted him to do. And I'm not saying that, if you show him more respect, he's going to be a changed man. I'm not saying that. But what I am going to say is that, if you were to show him more respect, that it could make him, say, like, okay, well, she's doing this now. So what can I do in order to show my wife that I love her? Or what could I do to show a woman that I'm going to potentially marry that I love her, because he sees a change in you. And so he may be inspired to make changes for himself to make the relationship better, or even your marriage better. Okay. And so the last quality that I want to share with you is to do good by him. I just think that, this may be a given. And I hope that, your husband does good by you. If you are an inspiring wife and you are dating a guy and things are getting serious, I hope that he does good by you. But as far as, when it comes to accountability, when it comes to responsibility of being a wife, doing good by your husband and thinking about like how you can do good by him, you know, doing things with him in mind. And so when you handle that with that intentionality, listen, okay? Like that right there is going to help you to be even more effective with him when it comes to respect, when it comes to love, because when it comes to marriage, you're supposed to treat each other right. You're supposed to do right, do good by each other, to love each other, to respect each other, and to submit to each other, and all of these things, right? And so, as a wife, when you do things with good intentions in order to get good results, and you show him how much you admire him, how much you have respect for him, how much you love him, and you show that to him, that that makes him feel good, and that even helps boost his ego, and so it makes him even more proud to call you his wife. And so I hope that you are able to feel good about the way that he treats you, the way that he cherishes you, the way that he loves you, and all of those things, because this isn't about a one-way street. This is about a two-way street, right? And so when it comes to marriage, remember, to be able to love yourself, to love God. Also, to show your husband that you respect him, and to have that conversation like, okay, what ways do you feel respected in our marriage? Like, or is there a time where you felt disrespected in our marriage? And so what could I do better? And so that can actually compel him to want to do better in areas where you like, this is a challenge that we have, and we haven't been able to work through this yet. And so I'm telling you, having the respect conversation can definitely help you level up in your marriage. And then the last point that I had made here was to do good by your husband, to, you know, build your home. And, when it comes to, doing the right thing, like when you do things in the sight of God by doing the right thing and doing things unto the Lord, like, let me tell you, like, God is going to bless you. God is going to bless your marriage. And it's just like, wow, like, we have something beautiful right here. And so I hope that these three qualities and these three truths has helped you to assess where you are and where you can actually go. And, I love coaching married couples when it comes, to their marriage. And I do have a marriage coaching program where I help couples to work on their communication, their emotional intimacy, the way that they love each other, the way that they have cohesiveness in their marriage. And so, if you would like, click the link below in order for you to have a consultation with me about my marriage coaching program. I hope you were able to take some notes, and that some of these tips were able to help you. So, I've enjoyed myself with you, and remember to share this video with another wife who needs to be inspired, who needs to be encouraged. So, again, my name is Erica J. Holston, Coach Honey Love. It's been a pleasure to be here with you today, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.